Hello, my name is Drennan Kessinger, and I'm going to talk to you today about the Internet of Things. So, just a definition I found that I think explains it very well. The Internet of Things is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or people that are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. So this infograph kind of should help you visualize what the Internet of Things is. You see the cloud in the middle and then everything else that it affects on the outside. So what is this in easier to understand terms? Basically, it's a bunch of things, quote unquote, anything you can think of, shoes, microwaves, coffee pots, cabinets, anything that is equipped with technology that allows it to track data and pick up data, process that data, and then make decisions or take action on that data. So how does it work? Well, various sensors or microchips will be implanted into certain things. Anything, like I said, anything you can think of, from a trash can to an iron even. And so whenever it's in there, this technology inside it allows it to have a couple things. One, internet connectivity, which means you can control it over the internet or remotely. Machine to machine communication, meaning it can take the data and read it and communicate to another machine, and then both of those will act on that communication and data. And then also the ability to act on the data itself. So some interesting stats that I found while I was researching. 87% of people have no idea what this is. They've never even heard of it, which is, I don't understand, because this is such a prominent thing in today's society, and even moving forward, it will be even bigger. ATMs are actually considered the first Internet of Things machines. So if you've ever withdrawn money from an ATM, which I'm sure almost everyone has, then you have been a part of the Internet of Things. By 2020, they predict that 250 million vehicles will be connected and self-automated. Self-automated, which I think is super interesting because it goes along with the idea of self-driving cars. So the impact. Well, we're going to see the impact of the Internet of Things in three big phases, in my opinion. One, business. Businesses are going to increase their revenue, increase profits. They're going to be much more efficient. They're going to be delivering better products and services to us, the consumers. People will be reaping the benefits just because of pure ease and simplicity that these products bring. Time management, people are going to be saving time all day just because of what the Internet of Things allows us to do. And then the environment. This has a real chance to impact the environment in a positive way and help change our Earth. So some benefits of the Internet of Things. Well, the first one, and I think the most important one, is the simplicity of it. Here you see a farmer in a field with a tablet. So in the future, the idea is that this farmer, all he'll have to do is take this tablet out to the middle of his field. It will read some data from microchips in the ground, from satellites in the air. It'll tell him his projected yield, how much, if he's going to have a surplus or a shortage, what type of weather he'll need to reach that goal, what type of weather is projected, if he should plant more, and when the crop will be ready for harvest. All he'll have to do is click a few buttons and bang, he'll know exactly how his season is supposed to turn out. With safety and health, people are going to be able to monitor their health better. We'll have devices that will be able to inform you if what certain injuries are, what's ailing you. If you're sick, what is it? Is it a cold, bronchitis, pneumonia? Safety. We will have sensors all over that will alert us to potential crime in the area. Our home security systems will be improved. And also this will lead to better decision making. When you have more information and more data, you can make better decisions. So there are definitely downsides, unfortunately. I think the most interesting one is just the sheer amount of data that will be available causes a problem, because we will be picking up data from virtually everything that we own. Everything you can think of will be collecting data. So then the issue becomes, what do we do with this data? And that's a problem we'll have to solve. Also, the complexity. What is this data telling us? So your tennis shoes picked up data. That's pretty easy. You can tell what that is. But your coffee pot gives you a bunch of data. What do you do with that? That's a problem we'll have to solve. Also, security and privacy issues. If everything is so centralized and all you need is a password to log in, if someone can control your password, they can essentially control your life pretty much. With self-driving cars, if someone can hack into your car, they could potentially harm you. Also, increased e-waste. In the technology we use today, phones, laptops, tablets, there's a lot of rare earth metals and a lot of dangerous chemicals in those devices. And with the Internet of Things, we're going to be going through those devices at a much quicker rate than we are now. Also, those metals and chemicals are going to be in everything that we own in the next 10 years. So when we throw stuff away, we're also going to be introducing those things into the environment more and more and more. And so that leads to potential issues. So the Internet of Things already in use. Well, if you own a Net thermostat or a Fitbit, you're already involved pretty heavily. These are two of the more prominent examples. The Fitbit allows you to track your steps and your heart rate, allowing you to keep track of your health progress, allows you to set goals for losing weight and becoming more healthy. The Nest thermostat allows you to control your thermostat remotely. Also, it allows you to program it to be different temperatures at different times of the days. So if you like it cool in the evening and warm in the morning, you can set settings for it to be like that. Also, in 2013, 104,000 items of clothing were sold that are connected to the Internet of Things. Now, these are clothing items that track heart rate, acceleration, speed, muscle contractions, force, and things like that. So it's mostly used by athletes who are training for very competitive sports. However, they project that over the next 5 to 10 years, almost all the clothes we'll be wearing will have sensors in them. And today we have over 7 billion items that are 6 billion items that are currently connected. So in everyday life, just some examples, look at the picture. The fridge is telling the man, don't forget to buy milk. Well, essentially refrigerators will do that. They will read using sensors, weights, however they want to do it. They will read what is in your fridge. You will set settings telling the fridge, at this level of data, I want you to basically reorder me more milk, more eggs. And so what the fridge is going to do is it's going to read that you're out of eggs or out of milk. It will reorder it. The vendor will deliver it, and seamless. You do nothing. It's constantly filled without you having to do any work. Morning alarms. They think pretty soon they'll have a way that when your morning alarm goes off, it will send a signal to your coffee pot, toaster, shower, closet, all these things, and it will basically get everything ready for you so you don't have to do any of the work. This could save you 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm sure we could all use an extra 20 minutes every morning. And then with cars, you self-driving cars, tuning your car, you'll have sensors in your car and data from your car that will allow you to know, okay, hey, I should get an oil change now, or hey, my tire pressure is low, I maybe need new tires, maybe I should check out this part, etc. It will just be a much more efficient way of tuning your car. They project that by 2020 we'll have 7 connected devices per person. Now today we have about 3.5. So if you think about it, we all have a phone, we have a computer, most people have a tablet, some people have a desktop and a laptop. So by 2020 we'll have 7 of those. So just imagine having 7 things. That's like 2 cell phones, 2 tablets, 2 laptops, and a desktop. in business. So businesses are going to be able to market a lot better because essentially they'll be able to know what you do all day with all the information that's being gathered, and if they can gain access to it, they'll be able to design products more suited for you and also market products to people who need them more. Better logistics. Companies are going to be able to cut down on costs because they'll be able to figure out the best ways to get places and the best way to ship things just due to, even down to a fraction of a cent, they'll be able to save costs. And then just a larger breadth of control. The upper level management and executives will be able to control more because things will be more centralized and there will be more time-saving techniques used. So the future of the Internet of Things. It is projected that by 2020 we'll have roughly 50 billion connected devices. That's a rough estimate. I've seen higher or lower, but most people agree on 50, which is insane. Transportation is going to change drastically. People will not be driving anymore. There will be no more traffic, no more log jams in cities. Productivity, companies are going to be exponentially more productive is how I would describe it. Though as soon as they start using, proven techniques, companies will be producing products, they will be giving out services at a rate that will be very beneficial to customers. Also, the environment will be helped. So they predict that if they hooked up street lamps to the Internet of Things in every city, they could save from anywhere from 70 to 80% of their energy. So they will be able to cutting costs by 70 to 80%, not only saving the city money, but also saving energy and helping the environment. So here's an infographic I found that provides some really unique projections and statistics. They say, if you look at number 12 in the bottom right-hand corner, it says that by 2020, 40% of all the data generated will be coming from connected sensors, excuse me. This means that something that's not even really in full swing yet, that's still in the early stages of development, in 4 years will be creating almost half of the data that we own. And that is just an absurd amount of data. If you look at number 8 in the middle, $41 trillion to be spent over the next 20 years in infrastructure upgrades alone. This isn't talking about new products. This is simply just infrastructure and how companies are ran. So that's just a huge influx of money. And then another one is a example of cost. So if you look at number 6 on the right, $970 saved per fleet vehicle. This is a huge cost for people. This will allow them to save costs on things like vehicles and give that money to employees or hire new employees. So why is this important? At the end of the day, I think the most important part is this will provide jobs and economic growth for people. With all the time-saving techniques and the money saved, people will benefit greatly. Companies will be doing better. They will be able to give out bigger bonuses to customers. By 2020, this idea of the Internet of Things is predicted to impact the world by $11 trillion. That's just in the next 4 years. Imagine if you gave it 30 or 40 years or our lifetime. The amount of money that this will create is just breathtaking. Thank you for listening. As always, I would recommend doing your own research. It's a very interesting topic, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the Internet of Things. Thank you. And here are my sources.